Hi guys, well it's that time of year again. We're coming up to Christmas time, and I always remember when I was diagnosed with dementia 4 years ago, and that was a couple of months before Christmas time. And when I come to my first Christmas, I always remember thinking, will I still be here next year? And I've asked the same question this time of year, every year for the last 4 years. And another question I always asked, I've turned around to my angel Elaine and said, have I got any worse? And every year she said the same thing as well. Yes, just a little bit. Well, I suppose if it's always just a little bit, I can cope with that. But I must admit, creeping in my mind at this time of year will I be the same next year? Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to talk to your friends, to my friends, your friends, everybody? I see people, I see my friends, especially a couple this year, who I saw last year, and they're very poorly now. And you do think, well, will that be me in 12 months' time? Or worse? Or will I just be here doing the same thing as what I'm doing now, hopefully? Or even better, will they find a cure? All these things, when you've been diagnosed with a disease like dementia, must go through your mind. And whether you speak about it like I do, or you don't talk about it to anybody, or you don't discuss it with your family and friends, or sometimes the diagnosis comes too late for you to discuss it to friends and family. But there's nothing to say that the person with dementia stops thinking, and nobody knows if that's what they're thinking. And especially this time of year, when my kids come round and my grandchildren come round, and I always think, well, well, I said I wouldn't do this. um, I always think, well, will I still be able to pick them up and play with them next year? Or will I not recognise them next year? This is an awful disease, and these things do go through your head. There are happy times, many happy times. I write about them on a daily basis, I'm sure you know. But there are also some very sad times, and even though Christmas time is a happy time, it's also a time for reflection, and it's also a time for thinking about the people who we've lost to this awful disease, and the people who we are losing in front of our very eyes. And I sometimes think of my family, thinking they're watching this. This is happening in front of their eyes, like a slow motion film. And what they must be going through. I know I've said this before. I'm quite happy with my lot. I have a wonderful family, and I've got some gorgeous grandchildren. And I've met up. If you wonder what that was a bus going past. That's why it went dark. I don't know. And I've met up with some wonderful people. I met up with my son, and it's been quite a year when you work it out. We had Dementia Awareness Day. I got in touch with my son after 30 years. I had twin grandsons that were born. We're taking it forward with Torbay Council, forming the Torbay Dementia Alliance. My final book came out, Sign of Voices, and now on Kindle. So there's lots and lots and lots to be grateful for. But there's also a lot to be reflections and look back on. And you know, I'm always a positive outlooker, and I know that the future is good. This is not an advert for orange phones. The future's not orange, but I do know the future's good. And I hope it's good for each and every one of you as well. So come Christmas time, or New Year especially, because I always think Christmas is more for the children than New Year, but come New Year, and you're with that person who has Alzheimer's, not just Alzheimer's, who has dementia, regardless what it is, regardless whether it's Alzheimer's, Lewy bodies, vascular, frontal lobe, PCA, it doesn't matter. But come New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, give them that big extra special hug, and tell them that I'm thinking about them and we're all thinking about them from down here. because we don't know what they're thinking. We don't know what's going through the mind. We don't know if they can, if maybe they're seeing everything and hearing everything, but just unable to speak. So please remember that. And they do need your smiles at Christmas and New Year. And they do need your children's hugs, and grandchildren especially. Sometimes I feel quite lucky, even though I've got this disease, and that may not sound, doesn't sit right in the same sentence, but at least I've been given this chance to tell people how I feel, tell people when I have hallucinations about seeing my dog, or I have such bad nights, screaming and shouting, kicking out. And as long as I'm able to, I will do, and I hope I've done okay this year, and I hope I've explained to everybody what this disease is like, and I hope to do exactly the same next year, for as long as I can. I promise each and every one of you that I will carry on doing what I do for as long as I possibly can. And when I can't, I just hope that I've encouraged people who watch me doing this, who also have had early diagnosis, who will stand up, speak out, as a friend of mine says on their website, and do the same. My watchword, and as you all know, for next year, I have it on my tagline on my email, is to all the professionals out there: help us, help you to help us. Let us help you study dementia. Let us just talk to us. You know, I don't mind standing up talking to anybody, as people know. But just talk, email me. It doesn't matter. I'll talk to anybody about this illness, because I want people to understand what it feels like actually having this illness, and how it feels like waking up on a daily basis, trying to make the best of every day. And just one more thing, if anybody ever asks you what is dementia and they're not too sure, and especially at this time of year, this is what I always say. I always say dementia is like a Christmas tree. And as your Christmas tree comes down and you see all your lights, every one of those lights is a memory. And then one time one light goes out, and that's a memory lost, never to return. Until, unfortunately, eventually, all those lights go out and those memories never come back. And at this time of year, that's how I explain to people what dementia is. And I find that it usually helps, because they can relate it to Christmas, and they can relate it to the lights and the lights going out. So we all know how bad it is when one goes out and you're trying to find it. Or can you imagine never finding it again, and never finding that memory, until slowly all your memories go. And that's what dementia's like. Not just this time of year, but all year. But that said, 2012, if it's anywhere near as good as this year, it'll be absolutely brilliant, and I'm sure that we'll surpass it. And for all you guys out there, I would just like to put it in your diaries now. September the 15th, 2012 will be Dementia Awareness Day again, all over the world. So let me know what you're doing. I know it's not even January yet, but these things have got to be planned for. Always the optimist. Okay. I have promised to do a Christmas video, and I will do one before Christmas. But until then, if I don't speak to you till then, have a wonderful Christmas, have a fantastic New Year, and like I always say, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay friends. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from me, Elaine, and all my family, and all here in Turkey, and all here in the UK, to my friends abroad. Okay, speak soon. Bye bye.